Hey, it's Mike. Let's talk about Reaper. In today's episode, I'll show you how to use delay to help thicken up vocals and make them stand out in a mix. Let's take a look. The project I've got open is an original song my bandmates and I are currently working on. For vocals, I've got the primary lead, an overdub, and a couple of background vocals. Let's take a quick listen to the second verse and hear what we've got with the vocals so far. That's sounding pretty good so far. As you may have heard, I've got some delay throws that I have added on here for certain words. We can take a quick look at that and we can see some automation here where I'm sending the primary vocal to a delay track, but I'm automating when it comes in and out just to accentuate certain verses. That is fantastic for adding effect, but it's not necessarily the effect that I'm looking for to help thicken up the vocals. As it stands, the vocals are pretty consistent and they can be heard pretty well throughout the song, but in some parts, particularly in the chorus, it can get a little bit lost. Let's take a look at adding a secondary delay to the primary vocal to run full time to help make these vocals stand out a bit more. I'll use my track manager to quickly get to that track. If you're not familiar with the track manager, click the link above to learn more. I'll go to my vocals 1, which is track 36, my primary vocals, and click the effects insert. Here we can see I've already got a few effects on here, but I'd like to add delay. For the sake of this demonstration, I'll go ahead and repeat the section that we're on and we'll solo the vocals so we can clearly hear what's happening. What I'd first like to do is change the musical length to 0. What this does is it allows me to set a time parameter instead of something that's based on a note value. Now, I've read somewhere before that delays of less than 50 milliseconds may be difficult to perceive by the human ear. I don't know how true that is, but I typically like to start with this somewhere around 60 milliseconds. So I'll put in 60 milliseconds for the length of time for my delay. And we've currently got our wet and dry set for the same. So let's take a listen now and just see what we've got.
Recoil, I can feel it in my bones.
Now, as you can hear, that's already given the primary vocal a little bit of a thicker, almost chorus-like sound, but it's a bit strange because it's sitting right on top of the primary vocal. So I'd like to take the pan parameter for my first delay tap and set that hard left. And let's take a listen again.
Recoil, I can feel it in my bones.
Now that vocal's starting to come to life, but it still needs a little something extra, so I'll add a secondary tap. Now this secondary tap, all the parameters that we set here are independent of the first one, so I can increase this to, let's just say 90 milliseconds, and I'd like to pan that to the other side. If we click back on 1, we can see that one is set hard left and at 60 milliseconds, and once again, number 2 is set for 90 milliseconds and hard right. I'd like to play that verse back again and start to pull down that wet to where the delayed vocal is not quite as loud, but we can still perceive it. Let's take a listen and see if we can get this set somewhere that works.
Recoil, I can feel it in my bones. Pathetic fighting for a soul.
And that's sounding a lot better to my ear already. I'll play through that again, first with it off and then I'll turn it on, and take a listen for the difference.
Recoil, I can feel it in my bones. Pathetic fighting for a soul. I'm breaking out, I wanna scream and shout. Execution is our only hope.
Now let's take a listen to that in context. I'll unsolo the vocal and we'll start with the delay turned off, and then I'll replay the same passage and turn it on. As you can hear, adding that delay can really help to bring those vocals to life. And that sounds really good to my ear. There's a lot more depth and texture to those vocals to help it stand out against the music. As you can see, there's several other parameters in the delay plugin that we didn't touch for this example. I would definitely advise a little bit of experimentation with these parameters to help find the sound that fits your project best. As demonstrated with adding delay to these vocals, hopefully you can see that volume is not always the answer to make a part stand out in your project. I hope this helps. If you like the content you're seeing, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And you can support the channel further by clicking the Buy Me a Coffee. I like coffee, but I don't have any coffee right now. Empty cup. Or Patreon link below. I like books too. Also, check the link in the description to join us on Discord. We'll see you next time. Visit us on Discord and engage with other Dang it.